Welcome to the Banana Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. We are 3 weeks away from a lockout, and we finally have some details emerging on what the players are asking for in this latest rounds of CBA negotiations. A counter proposal that the WNBA looked at, saw a certain number, and said, hell no, you guys can go back to the drawing board. Well, try again. Sorry, try again. Folks, it is being reported that the Players Association salary system proposal would entitle players to around 30% of league team revenue. 30% of league team revenue. More than double the league's proposed share. Full details on the system, 2 proposed developmental spots of games, more to come. I have the details. Please like the video, comment, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We're going to go through a few of the specifics, a few of the things that need ironing out. So let me know your thoughts on that, and please subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. The recently rejected Players Association proposal, in which players would have received 33% of total revenue for each year of the agreement. The Players Association has proposed mandating teams carry 12 players at all times. Each team currently can carry a maximum of 12 players and a minimum of 11. The Players Association is also proposing that teams be allowed to sign up to 2 additional developmental players who would receive a stipend and could appear in up to 10 games per season at a prorated minimum league salary before signing a rest of the season contract. Developmental players would also receive full benefits. Amid the league's recent expansion boom, the union is proposing increasing the number of games in a season to 48, while the league has 15, 16, or 17 teams. That would increase to up to 50 games in an 18-team league per the union's proposal. The league's proposing the option to play even more games than the union's proposal beginning in 2027. Let's just start on this last bullet point, because that's what I feel the most strong about, other than the 33%, of course. Increase the number of games to 48. Not mad at it. I want to know the details around back-to-back games. I want to know the details around playing back-to-back games. How frequently are we going to have back-to-back games if the players in the negotiations are not really in favor of back-to-back games? Furthermore, when it comes to the amount of games played, I just want to stay on this and harp on this as much as I can. What is saving teams from a DeWanna Bonner situation yet again? What is saving teams and franchises from a DeWanna Bonner situation again? You play 8 games, you get your spot took, and you quit on your team. What is in place that we don't need to do this again? What guardrails are up to prevent this type of lunacy to take place again? Furthermore, a Satu Sabali situation. You have Alyssa Thomas comes to the team. Satu Sabali plays like, and she says, you know what? I'm done here. I need to take a few days off. Regather myself. Huh? You need to take some days off? What? Your coach sits you at halftime. You say, you know what? I got to take a few days off and reassess this before I come back. Wait a second. Wait, I sat you because you're playing awful, and now you're going to say, you know what? I don't want to play the next few games. I'm good here. I'll join the team at a time that I'm ready to come back. I want to know what guardrails are in place to prevent these types of things to occur yet again. Make it a profit-based system with players of team getting profit based on how the player merchandise player team tickets fair. The WNBA can't agree to a revenue sharing agreement when the only reason there is any revenue is just one player. What if Caitlin retires? That is probably the best point that I've seen. If Caitlin retires tomorrow, it's not going to happen, but let's just say, the league's done. The league has agreed to terms that they just can't continue to run this business with. If Caitlin Clark retires, you know how many people will go bye-bye? I got to be honest here. This is a great point. Pointing out overrated takes. Yeah, great job. If Caitlin Clark says, see ya, don't want to be ya, the league's finished. People aren't coming back. People aren't sticking around. People are kaputs out of here. What do I want to be? So everyone wants a piece of the money CC brought in. Granted, her gravity brought fans to a lot of other players. I would argue that, to be honest with you, a lot of other players, a few other players, but a lot, I would actually argue that. Yes, the women have earned more. However, 33% was never going to, and just to, on my previous point, if it was a lot of other players, ratings would be more than a 6% increase year over year when the metrics are just skewed in their favor. So if it was a lot of other players, numbers would be a lot higher. Yes, the women have earned more. However, 33% was never going to happen. Double digits is the most that they could expect, probably no more than 20%. As time progresses, it can be reassessed. Time to go back to the drawing board. At this point, lock the players out. 30% would be a pipe dream at this point, given the scant progress thus far. This gentleman says, that's evil. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. If you guys don't know, you don't know. I can't help you. If you don't know Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, I don't know what to tell you. Shout out to SpongeBob. Let's get right into the article. Players' proposal more than double revenue shared proposed by league, according to sources. The Players Association recently proposed that players receive roughly 30% of total league and team revenue. Sources with the knowledge of the discussions told The Athletic. Under the WNBA's latest salary system proposal, players would receive less than 15% of total league and team revenue, with that percentage decreasing over the life of the CBA based on the league's revenue projections. In the union's proposal, so if it's decreasing, are they projecting decreasing revenue? I'm going to have to look into that. In the union's proposal, the salary cap would be determined by taking the player's share of the previous season's total revenue, subtracting the cost of the various player benefits, and dividing that number by the number of teams, sources said. Some of those benefits include medical insurance costs, local transportation costs, and housing. The union is proposing mandatory league and team audits to ensure accurate accounting and transparency. Well, if they're including that they're subtracting the cost of transportation and housing, you would have to assume that in this latest proposal, the players are saying, we want our housing still, we want our transportation still, we want our free cars, we want our free transportation, and we want free housing. And while you're at it, we want the IKEA gift card so we can go get some furniture. We want the Walmart gift card so I can go get me a nice TV. We want all that. Okay, fair enough. In the first year of the agreement, players would receive 29% of the prior season's gross revenue, with a one-time adjustment applied to reflect the WNBA's new 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights deal going into effect next season. The player's share of total league and team revenue would increase by 1%, with players earning 34% of the prior season's gross revenue in the final year of the proposed CBA. Now here we go with some. Okay, we got a Kelsey Plum quote. Kelsey Plum, the Player Association's first vice president and a Los Angeles Sparks all-star guard, said Friday the talks between the two sides haven't been progress as she hoped since the last extension agreement. Because you guys are expecting them to suddenly wake up one day and say, yeah, this is a good deal, we'll take it. That's not going to happen. And you guys aren't budging, so it's definitely not going to happen. You guys aren't negotiating, you guys are demanding. This is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, and it's something that can be messed up, and we're going to fight for everything that we deserve. All right, Caitlin, fight for everything you deserve. But you better come up off some things. You guys need to come off some things. Some of the 33% demand is egregious. If I'm an owner, that's an instant deal breaker. I can't take that seriously. I just can't. Here's the state of talks on various topics: roster size and developmental spots. The Player Association has proposed mandating teams carry 12 players at all times. Each team currently can carry a maximum of 12 players and a minimum of 11. Okay, so we're extending roster spots from 11 to 12 with the ability to add 2 additional developmental players. Okay. Number of games. The current CBA. Again, I'm not opposed to the roster spot. Yeah, go ahead, get an extra roster spot. The additional 2 roster spots, well, now we're pushing it a little bit more. But I guess instead of getting relief contract players, you're just adding 2 additional bodies. We'll see. Number of games. Current CBA allows up to 44 games per season. Amid the league's recent expansion boom, the union is proposing increasing the number of games in a season to 48. While the league has 15, 16, or 17 teams, that would increase up to 50 games in an 18-team league. More games, more revenue. That's how the players are thinking. Not opposed to that. More games, more revenue. Wearable technology. While several teams ask players to utilize wearable technology during practices to track performance, players are currently not allowed to wear such technologies during games. The WNBA is proposing mandatory wearing of technology during games next season, but the union is proposing a ramp-up period with an option to wear such technologies in 26 and 27, then making them mandatory in games in 2028. Well, if you have technology that track performance, I would assume that technology would also contribute to recovery. So why are we against that? I need to know. Does it weigh you down? Doubtful. Salary exceptions. Players Association is proposing salary exceptions be added to the forthcoming CBA agreement. Some of the exceptions will create a performance-based softening of the salary cap system, including increasing compensation for high-performing players on rookie-scale contracts. Parental leave. The current CBA does include a leave policy for non-birthing parents. However, through negotiations, the Players Association and League have exchanged proposals about parental leave for non-birthing parents. Previously reported, a league proposal allows non-birthing parents 1 week of paid parental leave. The union is proposing 4 weeks of paid parental leave for non-birthing parents. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Security. The union is proposing that teams increase full-time security to employees of 2. The additional security measure is part of the union's proposal requiring teams to hire non-coaching staff members, including physical therapists, athletic trainers, and team physicians. Yeah, that sounds okay. Mental health. The union would like players to receive up to $500 per month in reimbursement for out-of-network mental health services in the new CBA. The league has included access to mental health care in its proposals, but it rejected the out-of-network, non-league approved provider of reimbursement. That sounds regular, schmegular, degular. We'll pay for it if it's in our network. If it's not in our network, we're not paying for it. That sounds regular. To me, based on my job history, that sounds regular to me. If it's in our network, we'll cover you. If it's not in our network, we're good. Retirement benefits. The sides have discussed a one-time payment for former players with a certain number of years of service for retired players who competed at least 4 years in the WNBA and who are currently not covered by health insurance. The Players Association is also proposing that the league reimburse up to $1,500 annually for them to undergo various physical exams. The league's proposing inclusion of a health screening program that would take place at key events in the calendar, but it would not pay for participants' travel expenses. Retired players don't need anything. Retired players don't need anything. You couldn't bring in the bacon then, you shouldn't get the bacon now. You couldn't bring the money then, you don't get the money now. It's not even that you couldn't bring in money, we lost money. Not only did we lose money, we lost a shit ton of money. Not only did we lose a shit ton of money, we lost so much money that the league was going to fold before Adam Silver said, no, hold on. Let's try to push this through COVID. The league was getting ready to crumble prior to COVID. One more time. Before COVID, getting ready to crumble. Union would like players to receive up to $500 a month for out-of-network mental health services in the new CBA. That league has included access to mental health care in its proposals, but it rejected the out-of-network, non-league approved provider reimbursement. The league is playing the insurance company role. That's all they're doing there. They're playing the insurance company role. If it's covered by our insurance, fine. If it's not, it's not. That's not too out of left field, to be honest with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all the support. A lot of updates right there, actually. A lot of updates. We got a lot of what the owners are asking. 2 months later, we finally have something that the players are asking. And 33%, it's hard to take it serious, to be honest with you. Everything else doesn't really seem too crazy. Whether I agree with it or not is another thing, but too crazy to where it's a deal breaker? No. 33%, instant deal breaker. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe, that means so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.